What's up everyone, good afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever time you may be watching. I'm Joe the Film Bro, and I'm going to keep this extremely brief because I'm getting this out so much later than I meant to. However, your eyes do not deceive you. You didn't read that title wrong, you're not looking at the thumbnail wrong. In preparation for the live-action Barbie movie coming out later this summer, I am going to do my best to marathon all the animated Barbie movies made by Mattel. Yes, sir. Starting with this first one, Barbie and the Nutcracker, which actually was a rewatch for me. Because here's the thing, my sister grew up watching these movies, therefore I also grew up watching these movies, and I'm honestly really glad I checked this out again. I mean, just so much that came back to me watching this. It was so much fun, honestly. Not too much I can say here because a lot of my reviews and overall thoughts on the movie are said during my reaction, so you can just skip to that if you want to hear my thoughts on the movie while I'm watching it. However, I can say this though, letting the movie sit for a few days, a lot of things about the stories and certain nitpicks just start piling up a little bit. I feel like there are certain things where this movie is so close to touching on and just doesn't. For example, Prince Eric's backstory is just completely glossed over. Well, not glossed over, but it's not really given much detail. Not only that, but also how and why the Mouse King came into power, what the king before him was like, and what the implications were with mice and humans living together in this world, what things were like before the Mouse King took over. And also Claire's whole dilemma between wanting to go back home and staying in this world with Prince Eric. A lot of these things are just not really touched on, and I really think the movie could have been spectacular if it took more time to go into these certain things. But I know, that's not why this movie's here. It's just fluff, light fluff to keep your kids entertained for a little over an hour. It definitely does its job, and it's very entertaining. And I also just love listening to the music of the Nutcracker. So with that said, enjoy my reaction. I'll see you in the next video. Return to the past now. Yep, it was Mattel. I'm 100% gonna have to mute a lot of this music. But for all those watching on YouTube, if you want to listen without any of the unedited junk that I do, then subscribe to my Patreon. Watch along, you can listen to the wonderful music of the Nutcracker. I always appreciate movies and stuff that take really classic like ballets or operas or whatever, and make them in a way that kids will know this music. Like there's this movie, there's a Tom and Jerry movie about the Nutcracker, and stuff like this in that movie, it's why I'm so familiar with the music of the Nutcracker. I remember this beginning. I remember all these movies are always a story within a story. God. Oh, this early 2000s animation. Oh god, the animation, I can't get over the character designs. Or the look. I know, this is made for kids and you never pay attention to it when you're younger.
But what if I freeze out there, in front of everybody?
You've just got to find the courage to try. Like Clara.
Clara? From the ballet?
Uh-huh. You see, Clara lost her parents when she was very young. She and her little brother Tommy were being raised by their grandfather Drosselmeyer. He loved them, but he was very stern.
See, I forgot that they were raised by their grandparents and that it wasn't their actual parents. This is why I need to rewatch things.
Oh dear. The mice have found their way into the Christmas boxes.
The mice. Weren't they rats in the original ballet? Why'd they change them to mice?
Then he bowed and asked me to dance.
Did you?
I couldn't say no to the king.
Sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just kind of in awe and trying to remember a lot of this. Also, I just can't go over the stilted animation. I remember this part. The Nutcracker. I remember Tommy being a little a-hole about it.
Then I'll use him to command my army.
Hey!
He breaks him, right? Like his arm or something? His leg? his arm.
Sorry.
I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt you.
Not the twinkle in the eye. Is this one of those instances where it's like the Wizard of Oz? Like, we're not sure whether or not it was a dream or real or not? I'm appreciating, I mean, I'm a sucker for long takes in movies, so I'm appreciative of what this is doing so far. I guess Mr. Conductor took over production.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Speak. Let me hear the wonderful voice of Tim Curry, please!
Even as a nutcracker, you're a thorn in my side.
The thorn in my side. You know, if the sword fighting choreography were more impressive, I would have loved that camera shot on the wall. But the animation, and probably the budget they had, just doesn't do them any favors.
Meddling human towering tall, let my scepter shrink you small.
I never get sick of Tim Curry. I love that man. I remember as a kid always being so impressed with the fighting, but man.
You've got nowhere to run, nutcracker.
Nutcracker. I do like how the Mouse King is animated. I can totally imagine Tim Curry actually, like, if this were live action, I can imagine him actually doing that.
Ah.
What was that?
Well, then would you mind changing me back before you go? Remember, I used to be taller?
I'm afraid only the Sugar Plum Princess can reverse the Mouse King's spell.
God.
The Sugar Plum Princess?
The amount of times they say that, I remember it being mentioned a lot.
Perhaps I can help. You will find the Sugar Plum Princess on an island across the Sea of Storms.
But it's impossible to cross the Sea of Storms.
It's dangerous, yes, but not impossible.
Thank you, all-knowing owl.
But how would I get back?
Once you've found the Sugar Plum Princess, open the locket and you will return home your normal size.
Seriously, like, thank you, super convenient, omniscient owl. Remember, they fall, right? In a little bit. I do remember this.
Must have taken a wrong turn back there.
Here, let me give you a hand.
I kind of like how this movie didn't really waste any time to get right into the meat of the story. I know this is made for kids, and if you don't give them what they want, they will get bored. I do remember that none of the little fairies ever talk, do they? Even as a kid, I always found that kind of strange. Something else these movies do just well enough is gives the kids just enough eye candy to keep them entertained. But again, like I said before, at least it's a really good way to introduce kids to this music. A good chunk of their animation budget probably went into choreographing the dancing, which admittedly is animated pretty well. I will give them that. But again, you know, it's hard for me not to compare this to other movies we grew up watching, like all the classic Disney movies that we grew up watching, and how those movies had just the right balance of, like, good storytelling, animation, music. It had just all the right things for kids and everyone of all ages to enjoy. And I know this is just for kids, but I don't like using that as an excuse. Oh god, I remember this bad.
Interesting.
Of course they need, like, the squirmy henchman character, the guy who goes like, "Yes, master." I mean, just give me, I forget the bat's name from Great Mouse Detective, but just give me him. This guy's just a ripoff of that character.
Sugar Plum Princess. I've never heard of a Sugar Plum Princess. Bring me the royal registry. And Bring me the Nutcracker.
Now, even in a movie like this, which is like kind of a nothing movie, well, I wouldn't say nothing, but even in low-budget movies like this, Tim Curry still hams it up and gives it his all. I respect him so much. Like, he never ever phones it in.
It's an ambush. Take cover.
Gets hit by a snowball. It's an ambush. Nutcracker has some PTSD.
It's all right. They're just children.
Yeah, says you that you claimed it was an ambush. Not him with a coconut head haircut. Oh.
There they are!
Come on, into the woods!
Wait a minute, I remember this part. We're already here? It seems like this is moving really fast. You can't tell me they didn't see them climb up that ladder. Come on, even as a kid, I always thought that.
Let's start with who you are and what you're doing here.
We're both victims of the Mouse King's magic.
We're trying to find the only one who can defeat him, the Sugar Plum Princess.
I've never heard such a ridiculous
story.
Prince Eric, he's the reason we're in this mess.
You make the prince sound pretty awful.
Awful? But that's a compliment. Lazy and
Perhaps you should be looking for the princess, too.
I don't have time to search for some sugar pie.
All the Britishisms rolled into one, this character.
We've learned she's on an island across the Sea of Storms.
We'll all go looking.
Here it is, the Sugar Plum Princess. Kind, clever, and brave. That's it.
That's it.
Find the wooden man and crush him.
Remember him being taller. And again, as a kid, this all seems a lot more epic than it is.
Follow him, Pimmy. He's a bit rough around the edges and may need some guidance.
Going back to what I said, my family and I just rewatched Narnia, and I hadn't seen it in years, and the whole For Narnia scene, it wasn't as epic as I remember. Kind of like this. I mean, as an adult, obviously, you start to notice a lot more things than you did as a kid, and you don't give certain things a pass, like how I was giving the animation a hard time earlier in the movie. Still do, but not much to say about it anymore.
You're more than a nutcracker, Prince Eric.
I forgot that they reveal it this early on.
But my subjects think less of me than they do the Mouse King. My only hope is to find the Sugar Plum Princess, so she can help me restore my people's happiness.
See, I remember the big reveal of him being Prince Eric at the end. I don't remember them revealing it this early on. You know what? I kind of respect this movie for that. Being all like, yeah, it's no secret that he's Prince Eric. We're not gonna make it a big reveal. To say that, like, even kids could figure this out. Respect, movie, respect. Kind of wish there was more going on here with this music, you know? Or at least earlier in the snow with the snow fairies, at least they had all the choreography and the dancing. Here it just feels like filling up runtime. Well, there we go. But, you know, you could argue as well, a lot of these sequences in this movie are like.
Major! Captain!
What's she carrying on about now? Probably saw a snake or a spider or a rock giant! Great googly!
It's marzipan!
Everything's super convenient here.
A saw's not gonna do you any good, lad.
Don't worry. Wood floats. Rock doesn't.
You know, if that line was delivered, like, a lot better with a more of a punch, it would have been a really badass one-liner.
No time to enjoy the scenery. Let's find this princess.
I remember the part that's about to come up, I think. I remember they find that fake castle and they get trapped in it. Yep.
Good job, mate. Off to the palace.
I wonder if that fake castle is the movie's way of telling us, yeah, we know our animation's crap. Like, don't judge us for it. Doubt it.
Okay then, let's go.
No, I know it's not amazing, but I kind of like, what's her name? Kelly Sheridan? Is that how you say her name? As Clara/Barbie. I know she voices the Barbie character in like all these movies. I kind of like her voice acting in this. It's not spectacular, but you know, it's very fitting. I wonder if she gets better as these movies progress.
It's time we stood up to the mouse.
That's all it took. Like, why did we do this a long time ago?
I want every last villager, fairy, and general troublemaker rounded up to witness this display of my absolute power.
Tim Curry. He trapped them in the mirror dimension. Thank God she knew that would work and, you know, not kill them or hurt them or anything like that. Well done, the revolution, guys. Rousing success.
With the brawn of 20 and 6, I'll smite my enemy into sticks.
So he's giving the brain, Pinky and the brain from that one episode of Animaniacs when it was like Camelot. When everything he said had to be in rhyme for the spell to work.
Charlie Sheen, Ben Vereen, shrink to the size of a lima bean.
I'll give you a choice, Nutcracker. Dismemberment or barbecue?
Oh, barbecue.
I obviously didn't shrink you small enough. But that is about to change.
To change. Well, that was easy. Back to where he belongs! The sewer!
Prince Eric.
Just like Beauty and the Beast. I guess we haven't ripped off Disney enough.
It's Prince Eric, the prince. Ooh, the prince.
My God, I was talking him all that time. And you know, just like in Beauty and the Beast, where I prefer him as the Beast rather than a person, I prefer him as the Nutcracker here. And it turns all the people back into their persons. You know, of course, these things are Disney ripoffs. Should have known better.
3 cheers for Prince Eric!
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip.
Hooray! Now, I imagine what this would have been like as, you know, a group number. Do I know why are all the other townspeople in on this? Now, I forgot all about this part. I loved all the dancing with the upbeat Nutcracker music. This is just kind of threw away from my mind. See, I think the dancing animation is a lot better when it's a lot quicker and faster. Now, here's a lot slower, and I just keep thinking about how impressive, you know, holding themselves up like that would have been if this were in live action. So I guess the dancing and the choreography in this is a double-edged sword being animated. But then again, this is also coming from someone who has never seen the Nutcracker ballet live on stage. I've wanted to for a long time. I wonder if they're actually getting it just right. I wonder if they animated the dancing exactly how it is. If so, then that's impressive, but I have no idea of that, because like I said, I haven't seen it. You know, at least before, they took advantage of their animation medium and had the fairies dancing, you know, with all the colors and stuff like that. Here, it's just like watching the ballet, except like it just feels very stilted. And like I say, keep saying, the animation quality just doesn't help. I don't know. Maybe if they did more like, if there was more interpretive, like something like what they did in La La Land. You know how they're not actually dancing in the stars, but it's filmed because that's what the whole feeling is. If they did something like that here, I think it would have been a lot better.
None of this would have been possible without you, Clara. Will you stay and be my queen?
This locket was supposed to take me home, but in my heart, I feel I'm already there.
So just forget all about your family then.
I absolutely despise happy endings.
He's not gonna get away with that.
Oh, that the whole snowball thing come back from before.
Flap, you fool!
But that was actually built up earlier in the movie. Impressive. I'll give him credit for that.
Clara, no!
Eric!
Clara!
Well, ain't that a kick in the teeth? Ripping off a lot of Disney stuff, and like I said before, ripping off The Wizard of Oz. Being ambiguous as to whether or not it was a dream.
Aunt Elizabeth, have you seen my Nutcracker?
And you were there! And you! And you!
May I have this dance?
I couldn't say no to the king.
No, just like what her aunt said earlier. So I guess they're not too ambiguous with it. They do mostly play into the fact that it all was real.
Can you help me practice until I know all the steps?
Of course.
Makes me think, maybe they should have done something like what... Do you guys remember that movie Balto? Is that what it was? With Kevin Bacon as the voice of a dog. It's based on a true story. Makes me think this beginning and ending sequence with Barbie and the kid here should have been live action. The rest of the movie could have been animated. I mean, like I said, we could have actually seen the dancing, at least here. It would have helped these sequences stand out a lot more. And they're short, so they probably couldn't have been that long to film if they did it like that. But like I said before, if the dancing is spot on and accurate to the actual choreography of the Nutcracker Ballet, then good on the animators for getting it right. Supposedly.
I did it!
When he's practiced, when you can have a good story, yeah. Okay, yeah, New York City ballet dancers. So this probably was accurate to the actual stage ballet. Leave all thoughts, questions, and hate mail in the comments. Show the like button some love by smashing it. And if you like the content that I put out there, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.